Hey guys, welcome back to another tutorial by Shayna's Home DIY and Crafts. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to create your own customized ornaments. If you want to see how I do so, keep watching. Okay, so here I am in Cricut Design Space and I'm just going to click over onto text. If you guys can't see, I'm so sorry, but I'm going to click over onto text. You see text and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to type in the names that I want to be there. So I started out, when you first started out, you're going to just see a random, it's going to be in random font. So you have to go to font and choose the font you want. You could purchase font. Cricut Design Space gives you some free font. You could also purchase the plan from Cricut Design Space so you could have unlimited font. Even though some of the fonts you have to pay for. And you can also go to, I think, dfont.com or wherever and download free font that you could use for personal use only. So here I am. Once I type up the name that I wanted to, I'm going over here, like I said, and I'm choosing my fonts. So I know I want this to be like kind of fancy cursive writing and cursive. I sound like I'm saying curse. Okay, so here we are. I'm just typing out. I'm choosing a few of them. So what I did was duplicate the one thing. I did not type this 3 times, guys. I duplicate it. Okay, and then I kind of like find 3 fonts that I think I would like. And you also have to look for the ones that are easier to print because let me tell you, when you go for these fancy cursive writing and you're doing small things, it can be a pain in the ass to get these little ones without losing pieces. So we're using the beautiful people persons. That's what we're using the font today. Now I've done these ornaments a few years ago and I've done them every year. Okay, I just didn't make a video, but a few years ago I did a video. This is kind of like my side hustle, other than being a respiratory therapist and try to be a YouTuber. Okay. So it's one of my side hustle. So last year what I did was just literally leave the big K. I would leave that and then I would just like put the writing across. I didn't love all those standard. That's how they actually make these. So this year I came up with a different idea of, let me try something. How about if I just kind of split this up so we won't have writing over writing so you can see clearly. So I split it up. If you guys notice in the front it has KA, then you see that big K in the middle, then I continue with Leah. So it's Kalia. So if you guys notice that. So I'm using those ornaments. I don't remember the size of them, but I'll have that in the description box below. But they're not the small ornaments, they're the bigger size ones. So once I measure the ornament, this is how I'm going to know how big I want to create my writing or my name to put on my ornament. Okay, so if you guys notice again, I kind of like just duplicate the K because who needs to retype another K because it's a different cut, a different piece. Okay, versus doing all that. So we just duplicate it. Then we're going to type out Kendra and we're going to just repeat ourselves and keep typing out all the names. And some of the times you may find for me, when I'm making these, I may find that I did not like maybe I don't like the K, the font. Because remember, each letter looks different in the font. So some of these aren't the same font. It's a mixture because I didn't like how the N looks. So I kind of like chose a different font for the N. So it's a mixture of all kind of stuff. But if you guys seen as I can do, if you guys have made these type of ornaments before, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you go back and look at, no, I don't think I have any. Anyways, long story short, like the L that's a whole different L. The N from Nate, if you notice Nate, I did not like that N, so I changed the font for the N. So if you notice, the N is different. And I can't remember what font I chose, but again, it's up to you and your liking, but this is what we're doing. If you have a Cricut, play around with it. So now that I have all the the names that I want, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to go over with my mouse and I'm just going to pull down over them and I'm going to join those together. I'm going to change them because I have a bunch of stuff on my mat. So I changed the color. This doesn't mean this is the color I'm going to do with it. I just changed the color because I wanted these only to print on my mat because I'm doing multiple stuff. I'm just showing you guys this one. So I attach those together. Make sure you attach them together because then when it goes over on your sheet, it's not going to be in order. So once I send it over to the Cricut is notified that it's there. We go ahead, we put our mat in, we choose vinyl, we change from difficult to more, so we get more pressure cutting. We feed in our mat and there we go. The Cricut is going to send all these signals. And once it sends the signals, it said press cut, yada, 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 and then it's cutting. So while that's cutting, I'm over here at this other station, and I have my ornaments, and I'm just using some water-based polyurethane. And guys, let me tell you, I have this water-based polyurethane for like ever. Just make these things last for a long time for the small amount that I use. And I've been using it on ornament for years, and also like to top coat other things like my signs and stuff. Okay, so the thing is, you just got to make sure you store it properly. Okay, make sure it's nice and tight and sealed after you use it. Use a hammer to like seal it back, and make sure like when you go up to the Home Depot or the Lowe's or your local hardware store, you pick up one of those paint can opener. You know those opener that they give you when you buy paint? Pick up one of those, because those will help you to reopen these cans once you close it really tight. So make sure you use a hammer and bang it. Hit it, okay? So it's nice and sealed, and store it in a nice warm area. I store it in my basement. My basement is finished. That's where I store it. Before I have a basement that was finished, I store it in my craft room, okay? So I'm just using a 60 ml syringe, and tell you what, those syringe is everything. Now, don't ask me where I get it, because you don't even want to know I get it. I stole it, okay? So don't do like I did. Stole it. Anyways, so once I get my polyurethane in it, don't pay me any mind, guys. You could get these syringe on Amazon, okay? I have this one for a very long time. You could also get those little bulbs to pull these up, but I love the syringe because guess what? I have a cap, I cap it back, and once I cap it back, the polyurethane is sealed. It's good. It's not going anywhere. I could leave it. Believe it or not, 2 years ago, I have polyurethane in that I did use this year, okay? Or you could squeeze it back out in the can if it makes you comfortable. Okay, so once I put the polyurethane in it, I'm going to just swirl it around to make sure every side. Don't shake it up because it gives bubbles. And then when you put your glitter in it, then it looks ugly. So just swirl it around to make sure every part on the inner side of your ornament gets a coat of the polyurethane. Please don't shake it. Ear bubble, and then your stuff won't look good. So then I'm leaving them to drain out the excess, any excess. Please make sure you drain it out, because then when you put your glitter, then you will leave with a clump of glitter, and you could see it, okay? So now somebody's gonna ask, why can't we use ornament that have been like at the store that's already colored? Okay, here is the answer to that question. You can't, because the vinyl won't stick to it. Believe me, guys, I tried it. I've tried it even on the plain one. Somebody's gonna say, okay, I understand the glitter one, but what about the plain one? I've tried it. The vinyl just won't stick to it. It will go on, but after you give this out, it's gonna fall off. It's probably gonna fall off before you even get done. So all I did, you can buy a little funnel. I have a funnel, but guys, I can't find anything. I'm just trying, So I make a funnel. So this is a good example to show you guys. You could just make a funnel, roll a piece of paper and do it. And if you guys notice, I'm not shaking the ornament. I'm swirling it around to make sure we get perfect coverage. I sold some of these, and when I brought it to the customer, they go, how do you get it so perfect? I bought some online and it just looked chunky, clumpy, because I swirl it around. I said, there's a technique. I said, that's what you get when you buy from your local who love what they do and not just do this for sale. Love what I do. Yes, I do sell them, but this is not my primary job, but I love what I do. Okay, so swirl it around to make sure you get evenly covered. Look how nice that is. Evenly covered. And then once you get to the top, you shake it up a little bit, shake out the excess. And for some reason, I'm a good eyeballer. I end up putting enough where I don't have a bunch left over. I've seen some people dump back the leftover in their glitter. I don't like to do that because it gives clumps. It's clumpy. And I use my glitters for other stuff other than just ornaments. Okay, so I would use it to make either something with epoxy. If I have, I would mix up all these jokers once I'm done. I leave them to themselves and I'll mix them up, and I'll probably make something with epoxy in the future, or something like a keychain or a name tag or something. So anyways, so every time I say anyways, I have to laugh. So here I am. Now I'm going to double coat it this one. We're going to have half gold and half green. So after I put the green and I swirl it around and get it where I want, now I'm not using the pipe. If you guys notice that I'm not using that little piece of funnel pipe that I have made. I'm using a little spoon, and I'm just very gentle and leaning the ornament to put the gold glitter in, because what's going to happen if I just dump it in there in the bottom like I do with the funnel, then what's going to happen is just going to go all the way to the bottom. You'll never see that gold because the green is so bright. So I kind of do that. And this is where I shake it a little bit. So I swirl it around and then I shake it a little bit because I want to make sure the gold shows, okay? So you see how we get patchy and the gold shows. Absolutely gorgeous. This is gorgeous. But think about if you had done that with the green ornament, it would look patchy with you seeing through the ornament and stuff. But the only reason why this look good is because is two different colors. So here I am with the name tag. So everything is done. I'm not going to show you guys how I weed this out because weeding is no fun and it takes a lot of time. There are a lot of tutorials on YouTube. If you're first time doing this and you're looking how to weed, you could go watch that. Okay, so I did weed out the name. So all I'm doing, I'm using 91% alcohol to clean off my bulb. And I have my name here. I'm using my transfer sheet. And once I got the name all squeegee and burnished out, I'm going to peel that off. Now, because these ornaments are round, I've learned my lesson over the time of doing it. Sometimes they go on crooked and it's hard to get them on because they're round, especially when you're doing the smaller ones. These are a little bigger, so it's not so bad. So if you notice, I kind of like pull halfway there. I'm showing you guys. So instead of taking everything off where everything gets stick down, if it's easier for you to cut them one by one or pick them off one by one, then do it. For me, this is how I do it. I go along, I make sure I leave the carrier sheet in the back, and I slowly go around and rub them off and use my squeegee and burnish them on, and life is good. And this does even look handmade, and because I'm saying this is what I'm saying. So now I'm using the scissors. I'm going to cut my transfer tape right there. So because when you run across some trouble, you got to do that. So this is why you don't want to. Me personally, if you're good at it, you probably wouldn't be watching this video because you're already good at it. But if you're good at it, go for it. I do these every year, and every year I come up with a different technique of how I'm going to do them. So now I'm just going to go ahead. It's a little easier now. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm still not going to put everything down. I'm putting the large K. And tell me, guys, if you guys have made these before or seen these, tell me if it doesn't look beautiful this way. When you make the bigger K and then split the name, it's more work, but it looks nicer. Usually you would write the big K and then you'll write Kendra again and then put it over it. Okay? Or you could do the whole thing where you could slice it out and all that. For these ornaments, you're wasting your time for what they're going for to slice out and all that. So I think I came up with, finally, after all these years of making it, I think I finally found my remedy or my little technique of how I'm going to do these, okay? Because it did work and it's faster. So that's all I'm doing, messing with it. And remember, once these vinyl go down, they're down. You could peel it up with your little spatula, but if you peel it up, then you have a problem if that first adhesive on that vinyl is gone. So when you try to put it back down, it's going to go down. But if you're looking for quality to give to people and to sell people, then you want to make sure you do it right. I take a lot of pride in what I do and what I sell because I don't want nobody coming and say, you sell me bullshit. No. Even though I don't have a website for them to go on and say I sell them bullshit, it bothers me. Okay, I'm a perfectionist. So that's done. So now we're on to another ornament. Now let me tell you, these ones are the flat ones and they're way easier to make than the round ones. So it's not like flat, but if you guys know what I'm saying, it's kind of that flatter surface. So it's way easier to put the vinyl on these. So again, somebody's gonna ask me, how do you know where to do the placement? This is why I don't measure anything, but if you guys notice, there's a tape measure around my neck, or measuring tape, or fabric tape, or whatever you want to call it. I call it tape measurement. For these, I do eyeball, but before, you can't eyeball to make cuts. You can't eyeball to make cuts, okay? You have to make sure you have the measurement. So this is why, if you guys did watch that part of the video, or if you skip it, I'm going to say it again. I measure each ornament before I make cut. Now, do I measure each of the same ornaments? No, I measure each sizes. So I already know what sizes they are, so I know what I'm going to cut. And then I just repeat myself over and over and over until nobody buys anymore. I have to make no more. So that's all I am doing. So we do all that. Then I also kind of like eyeball as I put it on. Like this one is a pet one. And let's not forget about our pets. So I'm going to be putting the paws on it. So after I make it, I'm like, oh, this would look nice with the paws. And I think I should do it white so it would pop. So of course I went ahead and I cut 2 little paws there because I'm making, I think, 2 of them for the dog. And then I put the name on little Louie there. He's so cute. And then I put his name on over to one side, and then we're going to put that paw right in. See, I'm just trying to play with it, trying to make sure I get that paw in the perfect spot. So yes, you do have to do measurement. Yes, I did measure how big I want to cut this paw, because you can't just go cut a paw. Next thing you know, the paw cover his name. So I measure what size paw do I need, but then I kind of like look at it, eyeball, turn around to see how do I put it on here to make it look good? Do I put it sideways, upwards, whatever? So I figure out how do I put it on there to make it look nice, and look at that, voila, absolutely gorgeous. So now here I am. These ribbons are from the Dollar Tree. You could get your ribbon from wherever. You get them from the Dollar Tree, you could get them from Michael's, you could get them from Hobby Lobby, you could get them from Joann Fabric, wherever, Walmart. I personally love these little glitter ones from Dollar Tree, because when you're making these type of glitter ones, it works perfect. So some of my ribbons are like, depends on some of the ornaments if I need bigger ribbon, but these little ones, oh, it's amazing. I love these little glitter ones, especially with the gold. It's just perfect. It's perfect. And with the glitter, it's just perfect. So here I am, I'm making a bow. It's nothing crazy. We're just folding, gluing, wrapping, done. Folding, gluing, wrapping, done. Wait, folding, glue, wrap, glue, cut the tail, ducktail, done. Glue again, done. There it is. So here I'm going to glue. Your hot glue gun is going to be your best friend in these type of crafting. Okay, so here we are. Once I make that part, now I'm going to cut another part for the tail, and I'm just going to get, again, your hot glue gun is your best friend. We're going to hot glue that part. Then we're going to put that to the back. Okay, and make sure you use generous amount of hot glue so this don't come apart, but also don't overdo it where it's buffing and bulking off the ornament. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we put it right on where the ornament has that cap to hold the string to hang on your tree. Then once I'm done doing that, I'm just extra, and I like to take it up. This is the thing. Sometimes I just, I just do too much, because every time I go along, something new comes to my mind and I do it. So here I'm going to ducktail the end of the scissors. No, I'm going to ducktail the end of the ribbon using a little scissors, okay? So I'm using a smaller scissors here because, it's smaller craft. So ducktailing it, and all we're doing is folding that. Then I feel like it needs something more. So I'm going to take one of my little jam here, and I'm going to put some hot glue gun, and I'm going to put my little bling bling jam on it. Look at that, voila, it's absolutely gorgeous. Look how beautiful. I'm telling you guys, the camera does not do this bad boy any justice. It's so freaking pretty. Doesn't do it any justice. So this is what I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it in the start. So this is what it looks like so far. This is all of them together. And I have this video for a while to come out to you guys. These were my first set I made. I've made so much more after. So I hope it's not too late for you to gift these to somebody, or you could make them for your own self. So if you make it this far throughout the video, you are the real deal. So before you leave, if you like content like these, make sure you hit that subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, and turn your notification bell on. Therefore, you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Also, please go ahead and share this video out on your social media page and to your friends and family. It doesn't cost anything, and I'd be happy for you to share it, because I ain't gonna charge you, okay? I'm not gonna charge you for sharing it, okay? All right, so now with all that have been said, remember that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Until next time, be blessed and bye for now.